Welcome to the Michael Garza show with your host on how to use credit cards. By the way, how the F do you use credit cards, huh? What do you do? How do you do it? Why do you do it? Why do you use credit cards? How does Mikey G use credit cards? Well, you're about ready to find that out today. First off, let me get the chat up. I gotta get the chat up, all right? If I don't get the chat up, we're all fucked. Okay, we got the chat. Don't forget to like the video and I'll put subscribe. Subscribe to the channel for great justice. All right, there we go. All right. Ooh, gotta pop my back. Now, if you want to be a broke millennial, don't watch this video. We're gonna read an article on realgarza.com. This is my website. I'm shamelessly promoting it, by the way. I'm shamelessly plugging. Check out realgarza.com, Garza, realgarza.com. On with the show. All right. So we're going to talk about how to use credit cards properly. We're going to view an article. Juicy! On here. All right, we're in juicy. So we're going to talk about the smart. So this article is actually called Smart versus Broke Ass, the Millennial Credit Card Showdown. We're going to talk about this. Here's how you can take advantage of credit cards instead of credit cards taking advantage of you. Here's the old saying that pisses me off, and my dad believes this because my dad's a moron. I love him, but he's dumb. My dad thinks that if you cut up the credit cards, all your problems go away. No, the problem the whole time was you. This is a truth that nobody wants to admit, that the problem was always them. Look, I am happy I never got a credit card until I was like 30 years old, basically. So that was smart of me to do. However, having a credit card is not a bad thing. In fact, I think having a credit card is actually kind of cool. And I'll tell you why it's cool, why it works. So the reason why having a credit card works if it's used right is this. We're going to read the article. We're going to go through step by step. So here's how to use a credit card like a smart millennial instead of a broke-ass millennial. Also, make sure that you guys check out... I forgot to also note down one thing. Hold on. Scratch that. Forgot to do something real quick. There's a specific disclaimer that I got to put on these pages real fast. Give me 1 second, folks. We got people pouring in. Hi. Oliver Lakebird says, can you please tell me what is the point of life? Man, that's a deep question, G-Dog. You know? And this is going to sound like the stupidest fucking answer in the world, but it kind of is whatever you want it to be. There may be no point. That is something that people should consider too. I think you should consider a lot of viewpoints on it. You know, what is the point of life? There's a lot of things we don't know and can't perceive, so life could be better than what we expect it to be. I'm not sure. I'm honestly not too sure. But it's a good question, though. What do you think the point of life is? I mean that from a pure... I don't even know if there is a point, but I do... I enjoy pursuing what makes me feel like I have a purpose. Or at least, not just feel, but I like having a purpose. I don't know if that's the point of life, but it definitely means a lot to me. So, hopefully you could use that as a template. But, maybe there is a better point of life than just finding a simple purpose. Or multiple purposes, I don't know. Very good question, though. Keep the questions rolling in, boys. Give me 1 second, folks. I forgot to put down a disclaimer. By the way, I'm going to read the disclaimer real quick for you guys. Always gotta be juicy, 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 juicy. Okay, there we go. I'm going to refresh this page real quick. I think it updated. Okay, here we go. So just to let you know, there are affiliate links on this page on every single blog post that I have. I do get, as an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. This means if you click on a link and make a purchase, I may receive a small commission at no additional cost to you. So that's something I always like to let my viewers know. Anyway, on with the show. All right. So if you want to be a smart millennial instead of a broke-ass millennial, you'll want to treat the credit card like a debit card. So you want to treat it exactly like a debit card. The smart way to do it is only spend what you already have in your checking account. So make sure that you're maybe using 1 or 2 credit cards, even if you have like 10 of them. I'll give you an example. I have 10 credit cards, all right? And I only use probably like at most 2 or 3 of them. The rest of them are in a very secure safe that I don't touch. Now, I still have like them saved in my Google Pay wallet. So like if I get a notice saying like, hey, this credit card's going to expire, you're not going to be able to use it anymore, I'll just use it Google Pay and maybe buy something with it, something that I need. And then I'll pay it off, and then that'll be that. So it kind of helps with my credit history. The point is, I have $0 balances on pretty much every single card I have except for one, and that's a no interest Amazon credit card. 0% interest if you pay within a certain amount of time. It's very handy. It's very handy, especially for higher purchase items. I got my big old computer here with it. I got my smartphone with it, so very handy. I love having that line of credit whenever I need it. It's just the smartest thing to do. Isclates emphasizes the importance of praising and giving glory to God, suggesting that it is a key aspect of living a meaningful and joyful life. Absolutely, but that's beautiful. And yeah, that's awesome. Imran says hi, hello. But yeah, and then the broke version of you. So if you're a broke millennial, here's what you're going to say. You're going to say, future me will deal with this eventually. That's what the broke millennial will say. So the second way to be a smart millennial with your credit cards is to pay the full balance every month. So the smart thing to do is avoid interest entirely by paying the statement balance in full, completely. I actually pay every 2 weeks, but for most people, every month is the objective. I say 2 weeks though, personally, but I think a month is more applicable to most people. But anyway, so avoid interest entirely by paying the statement balance in full. Now, the broke millennial would say, they would pay the minimum and rack up 20% interest like it's a loyalty program. See, that's idiotic. That's what a broke-ass millennial would do. Jack's Cab Confession says, how much credit is too much? You can never have too much credit line. For example, I've got some cards that have like a $5,000, $6,000 credit line, but I rarely ever use the credit line to begin with. I only use like maybe $50 to buy groceries, and then I pay off that $50 completely every 2 weeks. You know what I mean? I only use. We'll go over it here in a second. But anyway, so at number 3, you want to use rewards. Don't chase them. Here's the thing: a smart millennial uses cashback or travel points on regular expenses only. Now, this is what I use credit cards for primarily. I have a Venmo credit card that has a 3% cashback reward program on it, right? So that 3% cash back is for your top spending category. So what I do is I designate the Venmo card as my grocery shopping card. So no matter what, I'm always getting 3% cash back on groceries, no matter what happens, as long as I'm only using it for groceries. And then I have a credit card specifically for gas purchases. That credit card is an American Express credit card. That gives me 3% cash back on gas purchases, right? And then what's the other one I have? I have an active cash card from Wells Fargo that gives me a 2% cash back for every single purchase, no matter what it is. So I get a guaranteed, as far as I know, 2% cash back no matter what. So it's really cool. The cashback rewards programs, if used properly, are smart, okay? Now, the smart millennial, like I said, we're going to recap, uses cash back or travel points on regular expenses only. Just regular stuff. You don't need to go on buying sprees. You just need to use it to buy what you normally buy. Remember, the goal is to treat the card like a credit card. All right? Treat it like a credit card. Hold on, my pizza's done. Give me a second. All right. Okay, back to the show. But yeah, you can never have too much of a credit line on your credit cards. You know what I mean? Intelligently, as long as you're intelligent about it. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in on this a little bit so you guys can see the text just a wee bit better. There we go. Here we are. So yeah, and the broke-ass millennial, what they do is they buy junk just to get the 2% cash back, and that ends up being a net loss overall, which is freaking idiotic. Millennials, I'll tell you, my generation doesn't know what to do with any form of money. It's very disappointing. And I'm ragging on all the millennials. This one's kind of ragging on my brother a bit, too. I'm trying not to rag on too many people, but if you're still falling victim to all these gotcha gimmicks, you got to do what the bank does, not what the bank tells you to do. I repeat, you got to do what the bank does, not what the bank tells you to do with your money, all right? Because the bank's going to tell you one thing, and it's going to do another, right? The bank doesn't do with your money what the bank tells you to do with your money. I'm a rapper. Number 4, you want to automate it. Look, so here's the thing. You want to automate the process. So the smart millennial sets up an auto pay program to avoid late fees and builds a flawless credit history. The broke millennial says, oops, I forgot, pays it late, credit score drops, vicious cycle begins. You don't want to form bad habits. In fact, if you do set up auto pay, it does help out quite a bit. I personally don't need to do auto pay because I do pay off every 2 weeks, and I actually check my credit cards weekly. I actually have a set date where I check all my credit card apps. I only have, like I said, 10 credit cards total. In fact, I might have 9 now because I have so many cards that I never use that I just let die. Also, make sure, by the way, fun fact, I don't know, we'll go over a couple things I might have missed in this towards the end. And I'll do a little bit of a Q&A as well. So the whole goal is to kind of, questions and answers during the live chat. Hopefully I can help answer a couple questions some people might have. At number 5, but look at automating your payments. I think for most people is a good idea. And if you can, set the auto pay for every 2 weeks. If it lets you. I don't know. Some credit cards are different. I've never truly set up auto pay. I'm so paranoid that I make sure that I pay off every 2 weeks. Number 5, monitor credit like a boss. Now, what does a smart millennial do? Well, smart millennial checks credit reports regularly. Okay. Uses free tools like Credit Karma or Experian are your friend. Yep. I use Credit Karma personally. I have Experian, but honestly, I like Credit Karma a little bit better. It keeps me a little more in the loop. I think I like it. It's a little easier. It's an easier interface. I prefer Credit Karma. If I'm going to be honest with you guys, a little bit honest. This is where we used to live. Broke into the old apartment. Singing a little Bare Naked Ladies around. It's a great band, by the way. All right. And then the broke millennial doesn't even know what a credit utilization ratio is, all right? So what is credit utilization? I'll give you a quick rundown. So basically, how much of your utilization are you using? In fact, number 6, we're going to go over number 6, because that'll give you at least a better idea what to do. And we'll elaborate a little further. At number 6, we have keep your utilization under 10%. Okay, a smart millennial does this. If your limit is $3,000, never carry more than $300 at a time, right? Smart move. The broke millennial maxes out the card, panics, then pays the interest forever. Right? Stupid. Never, and I mean never, max out your cards. It's just dumb. You're putting yourself at risk. Look, only use these cards to buy things you need to buy. Holding a balance on any credit card is suicide, in my opinion. It's financial illiteracy. All right? The bank may tell you it's okay to hold a balance on a credit card, but you know better. I want you to know better. Look, you got to be... If you don't want to be a victim of credit cards, you have to keep this rule in mind. Don't... Just because you can doesn't mean you should, is really the key to this, okay? Just one more time. Because you can doesn't mean you should, all right? Now, what is credit utilization? Let's go over that a little bit more. Like that example said, if your limit's $3,000 and let's say you spend, use $300 worth of the credit, your overall credit, you're using 10% of that utilization, right? Now, you can go over that utilization. In fact, there are times that I break this rule. For example, if I'm buying a high-ticket item on Amazon with a credit card that has 0% interest, I'm going to make the equal monthly payments, and I'm going to do an auto pay on it. That way I don't have to think about it, and it's a way, and it's basically money I could set aside towards investments and stuff like that, so I can kind of, in a way I'm making money to some degree. But what I'm trying to say is this. You got to be smart about it. You just got to be smart about it, all right? So just remember, keep the utilization under 10%. Make sure that you guys check out, I'm going to kind of promote the website here, realgarza.com. Actually, hold on. Check out the amazing new website with all of the beautiful articles. There we go. Yep, realgarza.com. All right, so let's keep on going with this. I'm trying to shamelessly plug the website. So yeah, realgarza.com. Check it out when you guys can. We're actually viewing the website right now as I'm speaking to you guys. I'm showing you an article on my sexy website. Let's see. At number 7, stack credit for the future. All right. A smart millennial builds credit now to get better rates on mortgages. car loans, or business credit later, right? So the whole idea is that when you build credit, you do get some advantages that people with no credit don't have, or shitty credit. Because you do get better rates on mortgages, car loans, and business credit. And you honestly also, if I remember correctly, you also can get lower car insurance payments, but I might be wrong on that. So definitely fact check me on that last part. But now a broke ass millennial is gonna I can't even speak. A broke ass millennial thinks credit cards are evil and uses cash only until they need to finance something. Now here's the thing. Look, credit cards can be a real advantage. Like you can have the advantage. Cade Mooney says fire website. Thank you. I appreciate it. Nobody says bro. Oh, dude, my brony brother. Hell yeah, dude. But yeah, overall, I use credit cards to my purest advantage, man. I use the cashback rewards. I pay off each card I use every 2 weeks. I never hold a balance. I treat it like a debit card, but we're going to go over all those in a bit. We're just going to go over a recap. So number 8 is the cycle benefits. Now, the smart millennial rotates cards for different categories. Example, like groceries, gas, travel, but they keep it simple, all right? Like I was telling you earlier about how I use my Venmo card to get 3% cash back on groceries, right? I use that as my designated grocery card. I use my American Express Everyday Cash card as my gas card because I get 3% cash back on gas with that card. And then for everything else, I use my, unless I find another card out there with other category things. For everything else, for the most part, though, I do use my Discover card and my Active Cash card. The Active Cash by default is 2% cash back on anything, which is kind of cool. So it's kind of like my card if I am purchasing something that's not gas or grocery related and stuff like that. It depends. It's kind of a touch and go on that one. But Discover does have categories where you can get 5% cash back. So you have to kind of keep tabs on those categories, but it's really handy if you keep an eye on it. But yeah, here's another thing though. A broke millennial would have 7 cards and doesn't know how any of them work. So smart millennial versus broke millennial, I think it's good to have those comparisons. And I think it's good for you to realize, hey, if you're the broke millennial, look, I'm not even trying to make you feel bad. And when I say broke, here's what I'm really saying. I'm saying is that you have broke bad habits, right? You got to be smart about this. Now, look, try not to hold balances on credit cards. All I ask, try not to. I understand life gets out of hand. And I'm not even, like I said, I'm not bashing anybody who's ever had to do it, right? I'm just so Jewish that I'm lucky I've never had to. I'm very Jewish, man. I don't really give in to vanity at all, clearly. I look like a chode. But, did I? I did take out the pizza. Hold on, folks. I'm going to cut the pizza. By the way, if you guys have, let's read the bottom line real quick. So the bottom line is use credit cards intentionally like a tool for financial leverage, not as a bailout fund, all right? Keep that in mind. Remember, smart millennial controls the card. Broke millennial lets the card control you. All right, while I am cutting the pizza, I'm going to play you guys some AI-generated music. Let's see, hold on. All right. While you guys So while I'm cutting the pizza, if you have any questions, anything at all, ask the questions. Ask the questions. To ask the questions. I start my stuff. I'm feeling bold. My little secret. Yeah, it's gold. Don't need the size to take the stage. Confidence is all the rage. Small but mighty, hear me roar. It's not the size, it's what's in store. Taking names, I own the night. My wing is small, but I feel great. Got all the charm that you can't fake. With every move, I make it clear. Confidence rock, I'm kicking here. Proud, that's how I roll. It's more than size, it's all about soul. All right. In the spotlight, when legends clash, Michael Garza rises, ready to smash. With monster in hand, he's ready to fight, leaving his mark a wild, reckless night. Get a step up, can't back down well. Michael Garza, the king of the world, shocked and alone, but never can. Yeah, I'm living life fast. Always on that grind. Got my crew with me. Leave the drama behind. Any questions, man? Ask away, man. Anybody got a Q&A, baby? Never looking back. People talking trash, but they can't match my stack. We climb to the top, ain't no time, relax. Living life unfiltered, no need for the facts. We rise like the sun, can't dim our light. Stepping out strong, ready for the fight. Fuck my ass, we're living wild and free. No holding back, just let it be. We're breaking barriers, caught in this spree. Life's a crazy ride, come roll with me. Yeah, we're taking over, no turning back. In this life we choose, we stay on the track. No turning back. I go roll with me. All right. We're going to turn down the AI music here real quick. We're going to get back to business. All right. So no questions. I'm really disappointed in you guys because there's nobody watching because I started playing AI music. That's my fault. All right. That's my bad. Q&A though. Well, we'll kind of go over a recap then to anybody who's watching this later. Just remember, check it out as an Amazon affiliate. I make a little bit of money off of these as an Amazon associate, I should say. I earn from qualifying purchases. This means that if you click on a link and make a purchase, I may receive a small commission at no additional cost to you. Now back to the scheduled program. So remember, the first rule is treat it like a debit card, man. Just spend what you already have in your checking account. Pretend like it's just an extension to your checking account that you have to pay off every 2 weeks. Now, I did say pay the full balance every month, but truth be told, I really do believe in just paying the balance off every 2 weeks. And look, if you use credit cards the way banks want you to use them, you're fucking yourself. You're screwing yourself. Don't do what the bank does. Look, 25, 29% interest rates are brutal. They're deadly. They're wrong. I never hold balances on a credit card that has any interest rate over 20%. Hell, even 15% is killing that for me. Bad idea, you know. I would rather, seriously, I do whatever I can to make as much money as I can. Because I never know when I'm going to suck. Because that time can happen to me at any time. Let's see. But yeah, make sure you use the cashback rewards. That's another thing. Look, I was telling you guys, I'm very strategic about how I use my cards. I have cards that are designated for certain things. The Venmo card, designated towards groceries only. I mean, I might use it for something else every now and then, but rarely do I use it for anything else. I use it strictly for groceries, and I pay that off every 2 weeks. Right? And the reason, why do I use that one for groceries? Well, it gives me the best cashback reward because if I make groceries my top spend category, I get 3% cashback by default. So every time I go to grocery outlet, like a discount grocery store, I'm going to get 3% cashback rewards. That's insane to me. That's awesome. So definitely I take advantage of those wholeheartedly. What's another thing I take advantage of? Also, another thing people don't really talk about a lot is if you sign up for a new credit card that has a sign-up bonus, like let's say you spend like $500 in the first 3 months, you get like a $200 statement credit. Well, that happened recently with the Active Cash card that I just signed up for. I got to where I needed to be on it, and I'm going to get that statement credit here very soon, so very excited about that. Yeah, overall, you just got to be smart about it. But yeah, use the rewards. Don't chase them. Just because I will tell you this, the best cashback reward you could ever get is not spending the money at all, right? Not spending money, all right? So you just need to use it for regular purchases, things that you would have to purchase regardless. Remember, if you have to get groceries, use the card. You at least get rewarded for doing groceries. You reward yourself for things you have to do. And so the reward is if I have to buy groceries, I want to get rewarded with cash back. That's the smartest thing I can do for myself. And you get rewarded in that form. And also, one thing I will say about credit cards or debit cards or anything really is that I don't have to carry around any cash. I still carry around at least $20 on me. You never know. $20 or $40 on me at all times because you just don't know. And that's the smartest thing one can do. And yeah, it's funny because I realize this, like whenever I buy groceries, stuff I need to buy, some of that cashback rewards technically goes to like paying some bills in a lot of ways. It discounts my bills, discounts my internet bill to some degree. Yeah, so if I got to spend money, I got to spend money. But you don't spend money because you're going to get cashback rewards is what I'm trying to say. Does that make sense? Like, spend money because you have to spend money. Just use it on the essentials. Get what you got to get. right? Just know that you're going to get the best cashback reward using one card for one thing and one card for the other. Doesn't matter. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. If not, no big deal. Let's see. What else do I need to let you guys know? Automate it. Yes. So setting up an auto pay to avoid late fees and building flawless credit history is a really good thing. You know, you gotta be a smart millennial, man. And then number 5, of course, monitor your credit. Honestly, I check Credit Karma once every 2 weeks, I think. Yeah, usually when I check my credit card balances, just to make sure there's no fraudulent activity and shit. I make sure that, you know, after I check, most of them have a 0 balance. I check my Credit Karma and see how everything's doing. If you prefer Experian, use Experian, but I prefer Credit Karma personally. I should have a referral link on there. I need to put a referral link for Credit Karma somewhere. Let's see. Another thing is we were talking about keeping the credit utilization under 10% for each card, which is really smart, by the way. You don't want to overutilize your card. Just be smart about it, right? And remember, you're using it as an extension to your bank account. Keep that in mind. Extension. You got to treat it like a debit card, not like a credit card. The moment that you treat it like it's free money is the moment you fall for the trap. It's not free money. Your credit card is not free money, is the best way to look at it. It should be seen as an extension to your bank account. Let's see. But yeah, and then stack credit for the future. Yeah, so building credit now allows you to get better rates on things that you might need to finance in the future. Maybe you will need to finance a new car, you know, something, right? And that matters. If you have a good credit score, you're going to have a fantastic interest rate. One of the reasons why I got a decent interest rate on the auto loan that I got is because I had such good credit when I came in there. And I plan on keeping the credit as good as I can. So that means just keeping 0 balances on pretty much every card I have. And just being smart about it. I underutilize my credit limit is what I'm trying to say. And then cycle the benefits. Yep. Rotates cards for every category. Yep. Like I said, I got certain cards for groceries, certain cards for gas. And I only use like 3 out of the 10 credit cards that I have. I only use like 3 of them, right? Like I said, I've got a grand total of 10, roughly 10. It might be down to 9 because I think one of them actually they canceled the card due to inactivity, which is totally fine, by the way. I'd rather have a card canceled to inactivity than being delinquent, you know? Especially if I wasn't using the card good riddance, you know what I mean? A lot of all my cards I keep in a very, very safe, locked safe. It's very handy. But yeah, any questions, you guys? I see we had like 2 people in the chat, so let's see. Anybody here? Anybody here? Tell me, how am I supposed to live without you? But yeah, that's it's pretty much the gist of it. Hope you guys got something out of this, and hopefully you guys spanked your monkeys to this. That's how I remain smart about my money, man. Got my mind on my money and my money on my mind. Sipping on gin and juice. Lay back. Well, what do you guys think about all this? You guys think I'm out of my bloody mind? Yeah, I'm out of my mind. A little bit. But I appreciate you guys viewing, by the way. Cheers. I did see my buddy Jordan on the chat. Really cool to see you, bro. As always, I love it when my... make sure you guys subscribe to him, actually. I want to give my boy a shout-out. I don't think he's on the chat at the moment anymore, but I don't know if you guys see that. Nobody. My boy goes by Nobody, and I want you guys to subscribe to him because he's a good friend of mine. At least I haven't seen him in a while. I know he's living in Portland and stuff, or maybe... Hold on, I take that back. He's not living in Portland. Is he? Well, Jordan will be able to answer that one of these times. I haven't talked to him in a little bit, but not too long. But yeah. But overall, man, if you guys have any questions, this is tough because there's nobody in the horizontal view or the vertical view, so I'm pretty much all alone. Maybe I should just do make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel. Like and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel, my friends. But I hope you all enjoyed that. You know, smart millennial controls the card. The broke millennial lets the card control them. And that's the point I'm trying to make. Is credit cards themselves are not evil. It's just how you use them is either smart or dumb. It's just like anything in life. If you have cash in your wallet, let's say you have $100 in your wallet, and you go buy things that you don't need, or things that you're going to throw away in a month, or things that are not going to help you out in any way, shape, or form, then, or give any sort of value. And look, there's certain things that maybe give pleasure to people, like video games. I get it. I like to buy video games every once in a while. But, things that, that give you a little sense of purpose, a little sense of meaning, that matters. It does, and it's good to spoil yourself a little bit sometimes. Not all the time. I think it's good to just primarily invest. I do need to do an article about, being the smart millennial versus the broke millennial when it comes to investing. That would be a very fun one to do. I'm very happy though with the website, man. I got a new logo on there. It's realgarza.com. Once again, realgarza.com. The website's up and running. Feeling good, man. Feeling good. I got the sites ready to roll. Everything's been ready to roll, and I love it. You know what I realized I haven't done, though? I haven't adjusted some of the social medias that I have. At least I don't think I have. Hold on. Give me 1 second, folks. There was one. I think I did it for... Did I do it for TikTok already? Hold on. Where's TikTok? Okay, TikTok. I think I adjusted TikToks as well. How am I watching? Okay. Yeah. Open my channel, bitch. Okay, cool. Alright, so it still points to the real Garza. Nice. Okay. So, okay, TikTok's good. I don't know if I've checked any of the other social medias and stuff. Actually, I need to restart the system real quick. Let's see. Power off, let this cool down. Sometimes I like to let this particular phone cool down a little bit. Pixel 5, by the way, is a solid fucking phone. And anybody with half a brain, yeah, Pixel 5 is a great phone, especially to have as a backup phone. Like, it was one of the, honestly, I loved using it when I was doing DoorDash and stuff. I'm still doing DoorDash, but yeah, it's awesome. I'm almost to that 4,000 watch hours, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. We'll check out a few other spots on realgarza.com. We'll go down, scroll down a little bit. So we got a few articles. We got like the top 15 international stock ETFs for global diversification. We'll kind of go over that real quick. We got some time. Why not? I love doing live videos, so might as well check out more at realgarza.com. Check out this logo, by the way. Look at that. Look at that. Real Garza. That's the new logo for the show. And looks pretty sexy to me, man. It's a little microphone and just Real Garza. It's got the blue coloring. I'm a big fan of the color blue. I can't help myself. But yeah, so like this article goes like this, you know, if you're only investing in U.S. stocks, you're leaving the rest of the world behind. International ETFs give investors exposure to foreign economies, emerging markets, and global dividend growth all in one trade. Here's a breakdown of the 15 best international stock ETFs to consider for your globally diversified portfolio. There's my Amazon associate links to the different products. As I always say, as an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. This means that if you click on a link and make a purchase, I may receive a small commission at no additional cost to you. I appreciate anything you guys do. I really do. Oh, no. What happened to my privacy policy? Oh, there it is. Okay, you got to have a good privacy policy on here. I do need to make a terms and conditions page, though, for the website. That's one thing I do need to make. But yeah, at least I got a good privacy policy on there. Ugh. But yeah, this is cool. Yep. So these are the top 15, by the way. So there's VXUS, which is total Vanguard Total International Stock ETF. That's a good one. I think getting international exposure in your portfolio is very smart. Look, as much as I love the U.S. economy has been fantastic. You got to have exposure to international companies as well. You can't just be nestled into one country. As much as I love the United States, and I would never bet against America, obviously, you just don't know what the future holds. You really don't. Unless you got a crystal ball like Miss Cleo, then you just still don't know what the future holds. There's IXUS, which is the iShares Core MSCI Total International Stock ETF. So you're getting like tons of international stocks on that one. The VEA is Vanguard FTSE Developed Markets ETF. I mean, there's so many ways to get exposed to the international markets, and a lot of international stocks, fun fact for all you dividend people out there, actually pay good dividends. So I love it, man. Even though some of the stocks in the international markets can be kind of shitty and fraudulent sometimes, it feels like, you at least are getting diversification, and you're investing outside of the U.S. Like, as much as I love investing within the U.S., I love U.S.-based companies. I have like at least one share of just about every single U.S.-based company I can get my grubby paws on. But investing internationally, man, smart move. International ETFs, I stockpile those things like crazy, just because I want to make sure that, in worst case scenario, I'm exposed internationally. So, also, Bitcoin's been going up like crazy. By the way, even though Bitcoin's a total Ponzi scheme, I actually want to check Robinhood real quick, because if there's one asset class that deserves to tank, it is, oh my God, Bitcoin's up. That's disgusting. Bitcoin is so stupid. Bitcoin is a oh, hold on. Oh, I gotta pop my back. Oh, is a pure play Ponzi scheme, and shocking. Give me 1 second, folks. But yeah, look at all these different ones. One of my favorite ones is actually the Schwab one, even though I listed it at 12. So, like, Schwab International Equity ETF is honestly, like, it has such a low expense ratio. It's beautiful. So anytime you can get a low expense ratio ETF that exposes you to international stocks, it's like, that's a win-win scenario. I hate paying high expense ratios, but honestly, if it's super duper small, whatever. Let's see. There's the Vanguard FTSE All World, excluding the US ETF. That's a good one. Wow, it's actually. Why didn't I always forget about this one. Jeez. So this one total global exposure minus US stocks, a longtime favorite for mass. This is like diversification on a massive scale. See, that's the thing, man. I love diversification. So if I could get exposed, in fact, how many holdings? I forgot how many holdings. The VVU. The BBC, the VVU. CVVU. I always forget the holdings. I like looking up the holdings, though. Oh, that's right. It's the VEU, not the VVU. Oh, dummy. I'm dumb. There's a little error, as always. Yeah, it's got a pretty good amount of holdings. But not as many. I was mixing some shit up. That's my bad. There's a lot of small cap international ones as well. Over the last 5 years, though, small cap international hasn't done too shabby on a diversified scale. Not bad. It's kind of a high expense ratio for the VSS, though. Sorry, you guys, I got caught up looking at Vanguard, different Vanguard international funds. But yeah, I definitely think it's always good to invest into international indexes just in case. You never know what'll happen, man. I mean, my bet against Bitcoin feels pretty promising, though. I can't stand Bitcoin. Mm-mm-mm. Hell yeah. I'm a hungry man, all right? Hungry as hell. Look how well that was cooked, too. Nice and crispy. Space good in, my boy, dude. This is my biological stepson. What's up, dude? Get it, man. Gotta get it. Pizza's so delicious. Who's back in the game? What are you talking about, Space Gideon? You talking about Bitcoin? Bitcoin's trash. Just because Bitcoin's up right now does not mean it's going to stay that way. I gotta buy some S-Bit, man. Mm-mm-mm. $673, damn. You should always. I think you should always bet against Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin's fucking dumb. Oh damn! There we go. Got to get that Ponzi scheme. Ponzi scheme. I got that Ponzi scheme. These chickens cracking my style. I'm on that next shit now. Wow, dude, I'm racking up the S-Bit in my big tits, dude. My tits. My phone is at 1%, lol, and yes, it will. No, now Bitcoin will crash. It absolutely will. Bitcoin's crap. It should crash. It's a fucking Ponzi scheme. How the hell It blows my mind that people take it seriously, though. Blows my mind. Blows it. My brony brothers. Give me some juicy. I'm probably going to end the stream here in just a little bit, you guys, but hopefully you all learned something today. Probably not, but if you did, I hope you guys took away one thing. The best way to get a subscriber is to eat in front of the subscribers. That's my YouTube wisdom right there. That's how Daddy does it. I'm just gross. I'm just gross in front of people. I show people my mussy. I'm just kidding about the mussy part. I don't show my mussy, all right? But yeah, go kid Ian, man. This kid's going places. Thank you, my brony brother. I gotta check a couple things. All right. Well, you guys, I want to thank you guys for viewing the channel, getting my mussy, turning my mussy into a bussy. I'll see you again on the next live stream, probably tomorrow at some point. But until then, folks, keep your mussy fresh. Or else. It's got to be fresh. All right, later, everybody.